Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Band of Brothers series. This is episode 4 and it is called Replacements. Last episode. For me, last episode was basically the episode of ambushes. These guys were having to patrol through the ground in France and basically every few minutes, they seem to come across another group of German soldiers hunkered down somewhere, catching them by surprise. Absolutely brutal battle after brutal battle from that set of derelict buildings they first come across, and then later on in the episode in the field against the tanks. That has got to be the day they lost the most units so far, for sure. And the other thing we followed in that last episode was that blonde-haired soldier who started as a complete coward who hid in a trench when he landed, to later being put in a position where they were basically getting overrun, so he had to face his fear and start shooting. But when he did, he looked like he was overcoming his fear. He even managed to shoot one of the enemy soldiers. And this led him to put his hand up to want to lead a group to scout later in the episode, which led, unfortunately, to his death, being shot in the neck. Is that an arc of redemption? An arc of suggesting he was right all along, but some people have to die to make this work? I don't know, but at least he overcame his own personal fear before he died. So that's one thing you can take away from that, which was a positive, I guess. And that last scene was just absolutely brutal when Malarkey goes to pick up his dry cleaning and the woman quickly informs him that so many soldiers have failed to collect theirs, of course because they're dead. Great closing scene which showed the harsh realities of war without having to show us a stack of dead bodies. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we have in store this week, so without further ado, this is episode 4, Band of Brothers, Replacements. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. I'm trying to bite my tongue because I said I wouldn't mention it again, but the first thing I think when I see all these amazing images is I cannot believe anybody looked at footage they had shot on digital cameras and ever thought it looked anywhere near as great as 35mm does. Okay, I promise I'll stop going on about the fucking 35mm, but I'm telling you, digital photography sucks compared to it. And until the day AI can use 35mm, they don't have shit on us. That speech felt way more empowering because of the moving war music behind it.
The Koa men, that's the ones that was there at the very beginning. They are very close.
Never thought about it like that, but you would be, like, if you'd survived from day one and then a bunch of guys came over as replacements who hadn't been there from the jump, you would look down on them a bit.
We hoped we could keep them alive, and they could keep alive. A lot of them didn't.
Yep, and on top of that, you would feel the added responsibility / guilt of keeping these whippersnappers alive that didn't know the ropes yet.
I got right there to where I didn't want to be friendly.
This guy has got the face of a soldier. He's the first old man I've seen so far. I can imagine gritted teeth in a trench just firing off an MP40.
We had good officers for the most part, but we had excellent NCOs. That
would be the one thing that would really be make or break, I guess, if your officers were good and if your officers were sending you on doable missions. Obviously, nothing's safe, but there are such things as, one-way trips. As an officer, I imagine your job would be to advance position while minimizing casualties.
First one to hit the bullseye?
Yeah, okay, one shot.
One shot.
Yeah, why not? Yeah?
Oh, it's this guy again. Admit you bleached your hair for this role. You have striking blue eyes and weird blonde hair. Why aren't you fighting on the other side?
Who are you?
Private Miller. James Miller.
Yo, fuck off. No way. Tell me that isn't a young... His name is falling out my head and it's right on this Blu-ray box right here. James McAvoy. Thank you, Split. Tell me that ain't a young James McAvoy right there. That's crazy. This cast just keeps getting madder every episode you watch.
Babe don't have to risk getting inside old Doris again.
That was one hell of a noise there. While a great noise to close the story with, I feel like he's just attracted every goose within a 3-mile radius. Crazy to see James McAvoy looking so fresh-faced as well. Really great casting because it shows just how young some of these recruitment soldiers would have been.
You weren't there.
Hey, ease up, cop. It's a unit citation.
And you're already starting to see the dynamic between the new recruits and the OGs of this war. No, I wouldn't have done that if I was him. You know what, at the end of the day, that badge is handed to the entire unit. Replacements get it as well. That is a decision made by their superior officers, and even if they weren't there, it would instill pride and motivation to those who were coming over yet to partake. Leaning on the guy to remove his Team Unity badge ain't exactly building Team Unity.
This here is Carver Lipton, the new Easy Company First Sergeant!
Congratulations to this guy. Surely he's not a new recruit. This must have been through his hard work in the field. We just haven't seen him yet.
Hate to break the mood here, boys, but we're moving out again.
No words kill a room quicker than that. Just when these guys are chilling, eating, enjoying themselves, there seems to be another reoccurring theme in this show. If you are eating, laughing, and having fun amongst yourselves, guaranteed someone's about to walk in the room and tell you to gear the fuck up and wipe the smile off your face.
We're dropping deep into occupied Holland.
Oh, Holland. So you're telling me Dick's about to drop into the sex district?
Montgomery's personal plan will be under British command.
Yippee.
The good news is...
You bunch of groaning bastards, how dare you all groan about being under British command? Do you know how hard the British fought in both World Wars 1 and 2? Please. James McAvoy was wise to blend in with his American accent. Wait till he goes back to the other base and tells his guys.
What are you doing?
You know what they never show in war films? I've been thinking about this for a couple episodes, so let's speak on it. How come we don't see more of soldiers operating like ninjas? Like killing the dead, putting on their clothes, learning basic German dialect enough to get them to walk through a trench without being looked at twice kind of thing. Why wasn't there more of that going on? Or maybe there was, but they just never seem to show it in war films. But I would be thinking incredibly tactically and stealth-like along those lines. Well, fuck me. Well, shit on a stick. It's the fucking instructor. You know, it's an instant slap to his pride when he's brought in as a replacement and they're all now veterans to the rookie instructor who taught them how to win. I don't know what their next mission's going to be, but if it involves running up any kind of hill, they are in very good hands.
I didn't want to get reassigned to some other unit.
Yeah? Can you make the jump?
Sure, I can't live.
Why does this guy on the right have Dead Man Walking written all over him? Really nice, really unassuming. That's the type of person that always takes a bullet in the face in these things. I'll say my condolences to him now. Rest in peace, guy on the right.
You just said I was lucky. I could sit out this jump if I wanted. I said I didn't want to.
And this is almost the polar opposite of what we saw last episode, because last episode we saw that blonde guy try and take the doctor's advice to get him out of the war as any excuse to escape there, whereas this guy has been advised he doesn't have to jump and he's still jumping anyway.
Malarkey.
Oh, you might as well break the ice. You're both at war now.
That motorcycle is United States Army property. That may not mean anything to you, but it means something to me.
Is he being serious? Is he actually coming through here and instantly trying to talk down to the people that have been fighting? I thought he was joking. I thought he was going to crack a smile and be like, oh, I'm just fucking with you. Training school was a long time ago. No, that's actually how he's being. I would fucking smack him in his face straight away. Bro, this is war. Fuck your motorbike.
Sling it up and down. When you hit the ground, your knee will hit the butt. The business end will break your jaw. All right? Lose your reserve. You won't need it. We're jumping low.
At least show him the magazine ping. Brighten his day up a little. Yes, I'm aware how much I geek out about the M1 Garden magazine ping. It's a thing. It's not just me. It's a phenomenon. You can look it up on YouTube. That is a lot of jellyfish. It's nice to see them actually have a smooth landing to the ground after the absolute mayhem which was the D-Day attempt at landing somewhere. Listen to it. Whimsical violin music playing. This is how it's meant to be when you're floating out of a plane to the ground. It's meant to be a bit beautiful. I want to see if David Schwimmer lands on his feet this time. Are we going to get some parachute landing progression for Ross? I tell you what though, this next mission is probably going to go way better than the last one, because this is a large amount of troops in a condensed area and they're all coordinated and nothing has went wrong, so they'll be able to assemble on the ground with complete unison, etc. Much, much better circumstances than they've had so far. These Ace of Spades must be easy company. It must be.
Where'd you get these? That farmhouse over there.
Oh nice, that's quite a score when you're in a trench.
By air support.
Those special effects look absolutely seamless if that was CGI. Oh man, fuck going through that field. I'd rather take the road and get ambushed. The ticks will get you in this thing. You know how some people don't like spiders, some people don't like wasps. For me it's ticks. I can deal with all the other things, but see ticks, I fucking hate them. Little bastards, dirty little shits with their Lyme's disease. Fuck off. The last time I removed a tick from my dog's ear, I was verbally shit-talking it as I removed it. I was so offended it had bit my dog. What does that flag signify? Is that a flag of victory? It seems like these people think they're winning. People are happy in Holland at least. That's what happens when your society allows weed. These guys were probably attacked this morning. Every single person here's lost a loved one. Look at them. Stoned couldn't give a shit. You need to slow the fuck down, lipstick cheek.
Clock's ticking. Yeah.
If he'd had the binoculars the wrong way round, it would have made Dick look bigger. This is an atmosphere of, like, the entire war being declared over, which it definitely is not, so why are people so happy in Holland right now? What the fuck is this? Were these the Nazi supporters in Holland?
They slept with the Germans. They are lucky.
Wow, they weren't even like pro-Nazi party, they just had sex with officers. Well, they could have been prostitutes and done that. Lots of prostitutes did that in situations of war. You can't fucking hold it against them for the rest of their lives. Don't get me wrong, if people invaded Scotland and Scottish prostitutes were fucking the people that invaded us, I would fucking hate them, okay? Looking at it from that perspective, I can kind of see what they're actually doing. I'd be like, how dare you? Suck the dick of the man trying to kill us, you fucking bitch.
I'd be happy to show you the quickest route to the bridges.
That's nice of the guy in the trench coat to want to show Dick around.
Sleeping outside is for suckers, guys.
100% agree with that. Again, fuck ticks. Those guys would wake up looking like corn on the cob. What's that he just gave him? Chocolate or something? Holy shit, that is a badass industrial brick of chocolate as well. That is the Nokia 3310 of chocolate bars.
You never tasted chocolate.
Well, something tells me he's about to have a lifetime love of this shit. Scotland finds its way into most art in sneaky ways. In this, we've got Scotsmen using American accents and thistles.
Vincent van Gogh was born in Northern. Yeah. So what?
That guy didn't want to hear that shit, you know, because he cut his... Oh, never mind. Well, I don't know what he gave her, but hopefully that helps out Furiosa. Dexter Fletcher, the one man I will not give a nickname to in this show because it is the most London name of all time. How this guy is an actor is beyond me. He should be selling potatoes in a market in Croydon. Another ambush? No way! He's been shot in the throat, hasn't he? That is so brutal. So it wasn't even like a full ambush, it was a single tank with retreating soldiers. What's the point of even opening fire on one person?
Stay still.
Well, which one is it? Because they were two completely conflicting pieces of advice. It seems like the sniper would be at the high point in the church to get the highest sniper position, but that could be wrong. Whoever it is, they're so fucked, because I'm assuming this is going to be one person, and they're just opening fire on an entire platoon. This only ever ends one way, even if they get a few kills. It says rifle malfunctioning, fuck that. I would just drop it, take out my secondary, and loot a fresh one off the dead. It'd save time. This poor new recruit having to lead the line. It's quite a baptism by fire. They've got quite a lot of artillery backup this time. They've got a tank and artillery launchers, so at least they can match tanks in a fight this episode. Is that a tank purposely being hidden, or one that doesn't work? It looks like it's trying to be stealth. Yeah, it's trying to ambush the American tanks, isn't it?
We've got a ground tank! 100 yards on the left, body stay stacked! My orders are no unnecessary destruction of property!
This is ridiculous. I do not know why you wouldn't listen to the soldier who's just spotted the fucking tank. This is instantly making the British look inept, which is quite offensive. I'm so confused as to how that scene just played out. It seemed like an unrealistic level of incompetence, do you know what I'm saying? There's no fucking way someone would hear a scout's advice and then just go through anyway and get blown up. This episode started like everything was going good for them. I've got a feeling that this is going to end in another bloodbath. So yeah, again, this is just another ambush where they're instantly outgunned. I thought this episode would have a semi-successful mission, but they're really driving the point home that, you know, there's no beautiful John Wick fight scenes in war, it is all just ugly as fuck.
Get ready!
Nice. That was a good shot. The first thing that's went well for them in a couple minutes, so nice. Nicely done. I suppose if you had to die in a war, getting obliterated from a tank wouldn't be a bad way to go. You certainly wouldn't have a lot of time in pain. You would basically be evaporated upon impact. Yeah, this is another mission where they need to just back up. It's a shame it's such a small unit as well, because all those guys paratrooping in, if they'd have stuck together, it was essentially a small army, but they've obviously all separated and went on their own little missions. And the practical explosion effects in this show are incredible. You can see how ammo would quickly become an issue as well, because if I was there, I would be popping shots, like popping shots either for suppressive fire or trying to hit someone in the head. And just like that, James McAvoy's dead. Fucking hell.
Hey, Doc. Lieutenant. Gun run through, bud. Side to side.
And now Peroxide's dying. All my people with nicknames are nearing death now.
I weigh more than both of you two guys combined.
Well, fair play to Peroxide, he was a brave guy.
I don't know yet. Next!
Holy shit, Office Space is lucky he was wearing his helmet. The new recruits out of this group certainly got broken in quickly. That is one hell of a way to be introduced to the war. And you wouldn't have even assumed that from the size of that location. It didn't look like a place they'd be really hunkered down in, ready to fight back. But they gave them one hell of a fight in that little place. Holy shit, that is a tiny tank. What a little baby tank. That's like, you know those Playmobil cars the toddlers get with the wheels? That's like the tank version of that. So he wasn't able to escape with the rest of them and he's now stuck behind enemy lines. That would suck. Again, the first thing you would do in this situation is rip that flag off your arm or give a fuck about patriotism, find a dead soldier's uniform that will fit you, and just try and mosey on out of there on some low-key shit. Okay, at least he did take the American flag off his arm, he's not completely stupid.
Never fired a shot the whole time.
To be fair, it's not because you were a pussy, your rifle malfunctioned. Don't even know what that is, if it's a gunshot or shrapnel from a tank explosion, could be anything. I was gonna say, don't use your thumbs, use a fucking tool, please.
Stuck
Yeah, just a giant bit of shrapnel. Ow. This is so perilous looking. Seriously, how does he get out of this? I think his only option would be if the family agree to hide him there. They're clearly going to find that bloody cloth he dropped. Oh, the last guy's gonna spot the fucking cloth. They wouldn't have shown us the cloth getting dropped if the last guy wasn't gonna spot it. Goddamn movie making. Well, he certainly had a less suspicious reaction to it than I would have, because I would have instantly thought wounded soldier. Rudy was so lucky that guy's rifle jammed as well. He could have just got shot in the face. Holy shit. Now we're getting a Star Wars lightsaber battle in a barn. Although I don't remember Darth Vader ever finishing off Obi-Wan with such a vicious a sequence.
Gotta look for him. Not by yourself, you know. I'll go with you. Let me get some ammo.
I'll go. Me too.
This is looking a bit better, because if it was just the two of them going back to get Rudy, they were both going to get killed. If we can get a little team on a rescue mission, that would be amazing. And also, if they go right now, attacking at night will definitely give them the advantage over the group with the bigger numbers.
I ain't going back up there.
Okay, so we've got one rational, cowardly man there, just enjoying his time peacefully. Gotta respect his decision.
Bombing Eindhoven.
Yeah.
Germany bombed Eindhoven. I never knew that. And rest in peace, James McAvoy. This must have been a very early performance of his, I'm assuming, but still, it was such a small role, which is a shame because we all know how great an actor he is now. And fair play to Rudy, he survived the night in a really dangerous situation. At least the Germans have moved on from that position now. No rescue team necessary, boys. Did it myself.
Glad to see you, boys.
Not as glad as us. But you thought we given up on you there, huh, boss?
How dare you give up on him? It was an easy night's work. He didn't even need to use his grenades.
Platoon, grab your gear, let's go! Platoon!
And again, zero time to relax. The moment they take a breath, they are being loaded into another van and sent to another location for another mission.
I don't like retreating.
First time for everything.
This is one dick that never pulls out. And again, just what a finishing shot that is with all the scenery in the background. Damn, that was such a catastrophic mission. Okay, and that was episode 4 of Band of Brothers Replacements, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Replacements, what did I think of that? Another great episode. This might even be my new favourite episode so far in this series. Instantly set up a great contrast with some of the new recruits, some of the veterans already looking down on the newbies, some of the veterans wanting to keep them safe, some of the newbies can't wait to get into the war zone, some of them are very apprehensive. It was just a great dynamic between the new and old recruits in the unit, and then on top of that, they brought David Schwimmer's character back in. And we thought, is he finally going to have chilled out and stopped being a ball breaker? But the very first thing he did was pull up malarkey and try and score points on him about some fucking motorbike. Absolutely ridiculous considering they're now at war, and also shows that he has had no progression as a person, even though Easy Company was taken away from him, clearly because he showed he was not able to applicate his knowledge in the field correctly. And then the bulk of the episode was them doing this operation. Again, didn't seem too difficult as they approached this small area, but they instantly got overrun. It basically started to go bad for them when the British did not listen to the Americans' advice about the tank hidden up ahead, drove right into it, and they all just started getting shelled to shit from the tank, and then the German units popped out from hiding, and it became a slaughterhouse. The way the British tank operator handled that information, there is no soldier on any side, British, American, German, or any other, who would have had a scout run to them with the information there's a tank 100 meters up ahead, and just because they can't visually see it at that time, disbelieve the scout, and ride on into it. The single most unbelievable thing we have seen in this show so far, other than, funnily enough, that London dude's Cockney rhyming slang in episode 1 or 2. But yeah, okay, we can all have national pride and be narcissistic and oh, our military's the best. The truth is there'll be great soldiers in every military and shit soldiers in every military. The only thing that really dictates whose military's the best is the population, the finance and the technology. Trust me, all that fucking hardcore special training you think is so badass is like the last thing that makes any sort of difference in war. Most of the time. There are exceptions to every rule, but most of the time, if you've got the larger numbers, the better financing and the superior technology, nobody's beating you. I mean, the Spartan army were one of the greatest forces ever known to man, specifically chosen from the point of being an infant due to their body shape and trained as the most deadly warriors their entire life. If they came across one blind baby who knew how to press the button inside a tank, that kid would take out at least a couple thousand of them cunts before they managed to penetrate the top of the tank with their little basic swords and kill him. Technology versus training. But what was fucked up was, after they decided they had to retreat, Rudy was hunkered down underneath like a sewer pipe and wasn't able to retreat with the rest of them. So this led to this interesting sub-story of this one soldier behind enemy lines just hiding in a farmhouse, having to keep the family cool, having to be stealthy from the Germans until they moved out. I thought there was no way home for this dude. Luckily the Germans moved out when it got to daylight, but that one night must have been so tense, that one soldier he had to kill, etc. Yeah, under those circumstances I do not know what I do, but as I said throughout the episode, the first thing I would try to do is just put on a German uniform that fit. And we got to see the loyalty in Easy Company as well, because even though we hadn't seen him before, quickly when they found out there was a man left behind, a whole bunch of them volunteered to go and save him. Luckily he did not need that, and by the time they were about to get to him, he was already being transported back to them and everything was all good. And amazing actors just come and go throughout this show. To see someone as amazing as James McAvoy, now if you haven't watched James McAvoy in anything, I would recommend you watch the movie Unbreakable and then watch the movie Split. Don't ask me why, just watch those two movies in that order if you've never seen them. And James McAvoy's performance in Split is absolutely incredible. The range of accents, mannerisms, etc. Truly a gifted actor, so to see him in this in what was one of his earlier roles was amazing, but it was also a bit disappointing because we essentially saw him, fresh-faced, new recruit, looking a bit apprehensive, and then the next time we saw him he had a hole in his head. So yeah, not much screen time for James, but it was still cool to see an actor that I rate so highly show up in this show. And the episode ended in what is becoming quite a common trend in this show, with them chilling, talking, laughing, only for one of their senior officers to stand up and say, right everybody, move out, and then the room goes silent, the smiles get wiped off their faces, and they have to go back to business. And that's how this episode ended, with them already getting back to business. So who knows where the next episode's going to take us, but hopefully it's a more successful mission than this one. Regardless, I'm sure it's going to be dope. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.